JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is one of the longest running manga series of all time. The manga by Hirohiko Araki has amassed a huge fan base over the years, mainly due to its unique story and a huge cast of characters. Each part of JoJo has different protagonists, antagonists, and plenty of other characters that star in varying roles. The roles of villains in JoJo in particular cannot be overlooked. Many of the villains in JoJo are more popular than some of the protagonists, and for good reason though. They are flashy, magnetic, and drives the story forward. Each of the villains in the series possesses unique abilities that makes them truly strong. But out of so many villains, these are the top 10 strongest villains in JoJo of all time. So without any further ado, let's start with our list. On the 10th number, the character name is Akira Otoishi. Akira Otoishi is an antagonist featured in Diamond is Unbreakable. Made a stand user by Keicho, Otoishi steals the arrow from him and begins to battle the Joestar group in order to drive them away or either kill them to be able to commit his crime in Morio undisturbed. His stand is electricity based Red Hot Chili Pepper. Red Hot Chili Pepper is a small humanoid stand which can travel through electrical currents and absorb electricity to empower itself. When powered up, it is a physically powerful stand able to trade blows with likes of Crazy Diamond, but exhausts its energy very quickly. Otoishi sends his stand through Josuke's TV, fighting him and his stand Crazy Diamond in order to test his strength in preparation for the events of confrontation with Jotaro. Otoishi is highly self-centered, using his newfound powers to steal the various people and wreak havoc among the town, and even killing whoever gets in his way without hesitation. On the 9th number, the character name is Gyasio. Gyasio is a minor antagonist featured in Golden Wind. Gyasio is the member of La Squadra group, who chases Giorno Giovanna and Mista near Venezia with his cryogenic ice-generating stand. Gyasio is a confident and short-tempered assassin who, despite his quirks, is rather level-headed. Wielding the dangerously powerful ice-based stand White Album, Gyasio is understandably confident in his abilities and disdains most of the enemy's actions, which he deems as futile. Gyasio's stand's White Album is a stand which gives him the ability to lower the temperature of the surrounding area. With it, he can also freeze the air around him, making an almost impenetrable full-body armor with ice skate-like blades equipped to his feet. The stand, while durable, has an air hole on the back of his neck to allow him to breathe, and the only weakness of the White Album. On the 8th number, the character name is Vanilla Ice. Vanilla Ice is an antagonist featured in Stardust Crusader. Vanilla Ice is the last vampire created by Dio and one of the most penultimate stand users the Joestar group faces upon infiltrating Dio's mansion. Vanilla Ice's stand, the profoundly destructive cream, can swallow itself and its master to become a spherical void of nothingness that obliterates everything in its path. Its only weakness is that it cannot see where it is going when in the void form, forcing Vanilla Ice to temporarily expose himself in order to plot cream courses. After being made into a vampire by Dio, Vanilla Ice adapts a standard set of vampiric powers and weaknesses, such as immortality, increased durability, strength, speed, and the weakness to sunlight. On the 7th number, the character name is Risotto Nero. Risotto Nero is an antagonist featured in Golden Wind. Risotto Nero is the leader of La Squadra group and sends his squad mates to battle Team Busharati, all in order to kidnap boss's daughter Trish. Risotto stands Metallica comprises a mass of minuscule beings residing inside his bloodstreams, enabling him to manipulate iron through magnetism at a short range. Risotto is a gifted tactician, showing a grasp of stand fights rarely witnessed in the series. Risotto could find multiple applications for his stand Metallica, as well as deduce critical facts from observations such as Doppio's status as a stand user. In a fight, Risotto keeps tab on enemies' abilities and moves, deducing their next moves with precision and making them work against them. His methodical approach of assassination and tendency to quickly kill his target before they could even act nearly killed Doppio multiple times despite his ability to predict the future. On the 6th number, the character name is Kira Yoshikage. Kira Yoshikage is the main antagonist of Diamond is Unbreakable. Unnoticed in Morio City for years and undisturbed all of his life, Yoshikage Kira is an abnormal and paraphilic serial killer. Kira Stand Killer Queen is a humanoid, short-range stand with the unique ability to cleanly and completely wipe out objects and people alike within targeted explosions. This ability takes 3 bombs that Kira named as 1, 2 and 3. After developing Bomb 3, Kira keeps Stray Cat in Killer Queen's abdomen. With Killer Queen's primary bomb charging Stray Cat's condensed air bubbles, Kira may create invisible speedy air bombs to use as projectiles. Although he cannot see these bombs, he is skilled to determine their trajectory using basic mathematical skills. Despite the powers of his stand Killer Queen, Kira's passivity led to an over-reliance on its powers to detriment of actual mastery. On the 5th number, the character name is Dio. Dio Brando is the main antagonist of both Part 1 and Part 3. After becoming a vampire and later a stand user, Dio has gathered around him many minions and is responsible for major events of the series. Dio stand is The World, a humanoid stand that specializes melee attacks and roughly equal if not superior in its immense force and speed to Jotaro Kujo's Star Platinum. About a year after gaining his stand, Dio discovered that it is capable of stopping time. At first, he could only do this for a very short amount of time, but by the end of the Part 3, he is able to stop time for a maximum of 9 seconds. This duration would have continued to develop had Dio not been defeated. When stopping time, Dio gives the impression that he is teleporting or otherwise moving at impossible speeds. On the 4th number, the character name is Diavolo. Diavolo is the main antagonist of Part 5. He is the boss of mafia group Passione and father of Trish. The biggest personality trait Diavolo shows is his obsession with erasing any traces of his history and keeping his presence a secret from the world, a compulsion he tries to fulfill by any means. Diavolo's stand is King Crimson, an extremely powerful stand with tremendous physical strength and the ability to erase time up to 10-second time frame as well as predict anything that happens over the following 10 seconds. Although it has some limitations, King Crimson renders him essentially invincible in a fight as he can either foresee and counter the enemy's action or render them meaningless by erasing the time frame in which they happened. On the 3rd number, the character name is Ultimate Cars. Cars is the main antagonist of Part 2, Battle Tendency. Cars is the leader of Pillarman and the designer of Stone Mask. His goal is to evolve further to become immune to sun's rays, and thus he seeks the Red Stone of Aja to improve his masks, battling the Hamon users for its possession. He is ranked first out of all of the Pillarmen. Light mode, which is Cars' power, is that of light. He is able to produce bladed appendages from his arms and legs and use these to reflect blinding lights towards his enemies. The light comes from a tiny shark teeth-like claws running along the edge of the blades much like a chainsaw. It is from the reflection of these claws that gives Cars light sleep blades. Except this, he has the ability like body manipulation, biology manipulation, flight and reactive evolution. Cars is an extremely intelligent and cunning individual, even by the high standards of his species. He was the one who created Stone Mask, studying the Pillarman's brain to unlock untamed powers. On the 2nd number, the character name is Enrico Pucci. Enrico Pucci is the main antagonist of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean, a loyal follower and a friend of Dio. He implemented a plan long formulated by Dio to achieve heaven. Pucci is a stand user and manipulates the mind and soul through his stand Whitesnake. Whitesnake is Pucci's basic stand with which he may be able to steal up to 2 discs from an individual. One disc containing stand of the target while the other disc containing target's memories. He develops Sea Moon with the instructions in Dio's diary with Dio's bone, which manipulates gravity. He also develops Made in Heaven with further instructions in Dio's diary, which steadily increases the speed of time. On the 1st number, the character name is Funny Valentine. Funny Valentine is the main antagonist of Steel Ball Run. He is the 23rd President of United States and a true mastermind behind the Steel Ball Run race. Valentine's stand, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, or also known as in short D4C, enables him access at any time to any number of alternate worlds, universes and dimensions, where if desired he may swap bodies with his counterparts, granting him pseudo-immortality. This requires him to get caught between 2 objects though. For example, a flag and a ground, or a sofa and the wall. This limits D4C's ability, but not much since he has gotten caught between water and the bottom of the ocean as a method of using his ability before. When Lucy develops Ticket to Ride, Valentine may utilize a protective wall of light emanating from her which deflects all misfortunes, bolstering his defense further as he becomes effectively invincible. He names this complementary ability as D4C Love Train. And I think that's the video for today, guys. That wraps up about the video of top 10 villains in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. What are your thoughts about this list? Do you agree with this list? And if you don't, what is your list of the top 10 villains in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Let me know your thoughts and your list in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel because I post daily anime content about top 10 top 5 listings, anime reviews, recommendations, news, theories, and all sorts of anime content on daily basis. So, if you enjoyed, please subscribe, and that was it, and I will see you in the next one. Sayonara.